Are you awake? I heard you making sounds in the night.
I saw a fox on a snowy mountain.
This week in game news, Sega acquired Amplitude Studios and will be responsible for publishing Endless Space 2. The Steam Summer Sale this year was extremely profitable in spite of some controversial changes. Starbound is leaving early access on July 22nd. Red Dead Redemption gained Xbox One backwards compatibility after plenty of begging. A new Overwatch character is being teased. We don't know anything about it, but it seems to be some sort of bizarre medical sniper. Elite Dangerous Arena is free on Steam until July 11th, 2016, so grab it as soon as possible. Evolve went free-to-play, No Man's Sky is finished and has already gone gold. Larry Herb, aka Major Nelson, will be delivering the opening keynote at PAX Australia, and a new Pokemon called Salandit was unveiled and it looks unusually evil. This is the Blackman and Robin Game News Update. If you game on PC, you've probably already participated in this year's Steam Summer Sale. If you're new to the world of PC gaming, all you have to know is that Steam is the biggest digital distribution platform for PC games, and that every year there's a legendary sale that takes place in the summer. In years past, the Steam Summer Sale has featured an assortment of mini-games, daily deals, flash sales, and community choice sales. This year, however, the Steam Summer Sale was extremely plain. There were no mini-games aside from the badge crafting. By browsing the games on Steam, you would earn trading cards that could be used to craft a fancy badge for your profile page. In spite of this, however, the sale was significantly more profitable than last year's. According to Steam Spy, this year's sale made $236 million. That's way better than last year's sale, which made $160 million for Steam, selling an estimated 33 million games versus this year's 37 million. What's more, the average discount on games offered this year was notably lower, 50% versus 66% in years past. The community has had mixed feelings on the new sale format. After all, the crazy deep discounts are gone, and the sale isn't really gamified anymore. I mean, don't get me wrong, I appreciated picking up the Bug Butcher for half off, but it wasn't really that fun to pick it up. There wasn't a game around picking up the game. Maybe I'm just a little spoiled. So why was the sale so successful this year? The idea seems to be that people aren't waiting for the best discount anymore. Not when the best discount is right there in front of them from the start of the sale. Their new incentive is to explore the store and look for something cool, rather than being incentivized to wait and watch for a few superstar games to get a bonus discount. In the long haul, this is better for the developers and publishers since, more sales, but it's also better for consumers who don't need to worry about missing out. Eric Asmussen, developer of the fantastic Robot Roller Derby Disco Dodgeball, commented that there was a strategy to winning the vote in flash sales. In previous sales, developers felt pressure to offer weaker main discounts during the sale, but to offer a discount that was far too deep during a flash sale. For instance, let's say that a developer wanted to offer 40% off on their game. Asmussen says that with the flash sales model, the main sale price would be 33% off, but the flash sale vote price would be 50% off. Now this worked fine if players voted for the game, but if they didn't, developers would lose out on sales from their game being more expensive than they would have preferred. What do you think about the new Steam sale format? Did Valve make the right move in killing off mini-games? Is the absence of flash sales ultimately more consumer-friendly? Hit us up on Twitter at Blackman and Robin and let us know. If you'd like to know where we got these crazy numbers, check out SteamSpy.com. They have plenty of interesting in-depth analytical information about Steam. If you want to go more in-depth on the subject of why this new sale format is better for developers and gamers, check out Lars Doucet's article on the matter at Gamasutra, titled, Why I Trust Valve's Judgment on Seasonal Sales. On the topic of Steam, there's been quite the scandal in the world of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, also known as CS:GO. The game is a strategic shooter published by Valve, and it's largely profitable on account of fancy weapon skins, which kids inexplicably purchase en masse. Now, in case you didn't notice, I'm not into this sort of thing. I don't understand the appeal of dropping hundreds of dollars for a pretty virtual knife, but hey, at least the kids aren't doing drugs. Anyway, The reason for this week's controversy revolves around a website called CSGO Lotto, where people would go to bet weapon skins for the chance of winning more weapon skins. Much of the scandal around the website revolves around the fact that it's gambling that's accessible to children. While the ESRB rating of Counter-Strike Go is M, and thus children technically aren't supposed to be playing it, ESRB ratings aren't legally enforced, so having kids playing the game, while it's something that they're really not supposed to be doing, it's not really something that's against the law. That said, today's controversy isn't about kids playing Counter-Strike, because while there's no law against that, there are laws against underage gambling. There's a bit of a mess going on right now because websites like CSGO Lotto aren't really regulated by traditional gambling laws. After all, you're not betting money. You're not even betting real items. You're betting imaginary skins for a video game. However, these skins do have monetary value, and the kids, as I said before, are plunking down hundreds of dollars for polka-dotted knives. Right now, concern about underage gambling is among the least of CSGO Lottery's problems, because it was revealed that the owners of the website, Trevor Martin and Tom Cassell, are also YouTubers who have uploaded videos of themselves winning big prizes on their channel. Now, these guys are actually pretty big on YouTube and have a lot of kids watching their stuff. Now, they've gone on to claim that their website isn't rigged after uploading these videos, multiple videos, of what appear to be their winning ridiculously good prizes.
$500 trying to get a knife, and I got a bayonet, like battle scarred.
Oh my god! Oh my god, you're the guy that won! No! This isn't serious! There's so many people.
Now, these guys are saying that they didn't hide their relationship with CSGO Lottery, which is technically true. However, they also totally failed to disclose it. The website's reputation is now in the trash, and CSGO Lottery could be in big trouble, as it's now under more intense scrutiny. It could wind up being shut down if it's found to facilitate underage gambling, or worse. Whatever the case, the failure of Castle and Martin to properly disclose the fact that they own CSGO Lottery is disappointing, disgusting, and a cause of trouble. We'll be keeping an eye on this case as it develops. Alright, one last bit of Valve-related news for this week's episode. If you're into Team Fortress 2, you might be happy to hear that the game's getting a competitive mode in the Meet Your Match update, along with improved matchmaking and leveling system. It would appear that Valve's doing this to keep Team Fortress 2 competitive with Overwatch, which has, as of late, stolen a lot of TF2's thunder as far as class-based FPSs go. Frankly, I'm glad to see that something is keeping Valve on their toes. Moving on to Microsoft, they're pushing very hard for their Xbox Play Anywhere feature to catch on. This week, it was confirmed that Play Anywhere will be the norm for every Microsoft-published title. What this means is that any game that Microsoft publishes on the Xbox One will be coming to Windows 10. So what this really means is that Halo 6, when it comes out, is coming to PC. Of course, Microsoft hasn't said anything about Halo 6, but at this point, it feels pretty safe to assume. We do know that RTS spin-off Halo Wars 2 will be coming to Windows 10, as will ReCore and a number of other Xbox One games. In game releases this week, Pokemon Go was released on iOS and Android, and thus far it's a hit. Now, Pokemon Go is an augmented reality game that projects Pokemon over real-world locations using GPS. You have to go out and catch them all. I've not played it, but I'm certainly looking forward to trying it out. Now, thus far, people have had a blast running around their towns and catching Pokemon. Pokemon Go is free to play. You should definitely check it out if it sounds like your sort of thing, but just a heads up, I've heard that it's pretty battery intensive, employing your phone's GPS and camera, so it might be wise to have an extra battery pack handy if you do start playing. If you're looking for a new RTS, might I suggest checking out Boyd? It's a simple real-time strategy game that involves genetics, and it's left early access on Steam this week. In Boyd, you capture spawners to make more units, and capture what are called mutation bases to give them classes, and that's pretty much it. Instead of tanks and soldiers, your entire army is made up of microorganisms. The game is designed to be really simple to learn, but a fast-paced challenge to actually play. What's more, Boyd features Twitch integration, allowing viewers to vote through chat on what mutators spawn next. Now, multiplayer for Boyd is totally free. You can hop in and enjoy it straight away, whereas the game's single-player campaign is purchasable as DLC. This is a rather unusual way of selling a real-time strategy game. I'm planning on trying it out sometime soon, as I've heard great things about it from the players, and it'll probably be easy for me to get into. Matches in Void are very brief. Void is available for Windows. Playdead, the developers of Limbo, have released their latest game on Xbox One and Steam this week, Inside. Frankly, I don't know much about Inside, having not played it, and from what I've heard, it's extremely easy to spoil the story. The game is a dark puzzler about a boy and a secret, sinister project. What I do know is that the game has garnered tremendous critical acclaim. Justin Eccles reviewed the game for Blackman and Robin.com and gave it 5 stars out of 5. Now, there's been a strong and positive reaction from fans as well. While it's currently available for Windows and Xbox One, there's no word on if or when Inside is coming to other platforms. Maybe co-op RPGs are more your thing. If so, Eon Alter might be right for you. I received an email about the game this week. Available on Steam for Mac and Windows, it's a co-op focused fantasy RPG in which you control your character with a smartphone. Now, from what I've heard about the game thus far, it apparently feels a lot like a tabletop RPG, albeit a little light on story and more heavy on mechanics. The game's first episode is currently available, and it seems that it has quite a few fans thus far. If you're looking for a simple RPG to play with your friends, check out Eon Alter. The game controller app is available for both iOS and Android devices. At current, it's not available for any other mobile operating systems. Not that there's anybody using other mobile operating systems, except for the one Symbian user left in the world. A cute 2D multiplayer-focused dogfighting game was released on Steam this week. Titled Rebel Wings, it's gotten pretty good reception from the players thus far. It looks a lot like Altitude, which is a game with a very similar premise that was released some years ago on Steam and went free to play some while ago. Rebel Wings differentiates itself with a rather unique low-poly art style. It looks really good, and it's available for Mac, Windows, and Linux. And now, for a brief word from our sponsor.
Here's a dirty little secret. When you wash your face at the end of the day, you might only be cleaning the surface of your skin. To clear those congested pores, you need a deep clean. And today, you can get it with Proactive's incredible deep cleansing brush. And here's something even more incredible. You get the brush free when you order a Proactive system today.
I love the deep cleansing brush because it really gets in those pores.
I was using a brush that was over $200, and I like this so much better.
This isn't just any brush. This is the only one from the doctors at Proactive, so it's specially designed for acne-prone skin. Call the number on your screen now to get America's #1 acne brand for just $19.95. Be among the first 500 callers, and you'll also get the deep cleansing brush free, plus more secrets for flawless skin. That's a $93 value for just $19.95.
You only have 2 hands, but you have a whole lot of bristles.
This is such an incredible offer that supplies are limited. Call the number on your screen now.
In crowdfunding news this week, Pray for the Gods hit Kickstarter. I've been following this project for a while, and I'm glad to see that it's finally on Kickstarter. What you should know about it is that it's a survival game that primarily draws inspiration from Shadow of the Colossus. You play as a woman trying her best to stay alive in a land full of stone giants. It's up to you to find out why the world is dying, and how to put an end to the eternal winter that's gripped the earth. The finished game will boast a day-night cycle, dynamic terrain, and a number of terrifying bosses. Pray for the Gods is set to be released December 2017 for Windows, and, if the developers meet their stretch goal of $600,000, it'll also be brought to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Looking for a point-and-click adventure? You might want to look into Column-A, a past under construction. It's a steampunk adventure in development for Mac, Windows, and Linux, and it's about, well, I'm gonna let the trailer speak for itself, but I feel safe saying that its backstory reminds me a little of Ergo Proxy. You can download a playable demo for Column-A from its Kickstarter page.
Column-A, a past under construction, is a story-driven point-and-click adventure focused on people who couldn't afford to inhabit Deus, a heavenly settlement built upon gigantic metal columns more than a century ago, when environmental catastrophe made the air on the surface of the earth unbreathable. These people found their new home in the columns themselves, and survive to this day by parasitizing the pipes coming from enormous underground machina, the purpose of which is to extract, process, and pump up resources through Column-A and into Deus. Column-A is a non-linear game. By choosing which paths to solve, in which way to solve them, and by interacting with more than 50 other characters, you will have freedom to pursue or ignore goals, to befriend or betray people, and to follow or oppose different beliefs and ideologies throughout the game's 8 chapters. However, these chapters are not played in chronological order. This means your choices not only cause the story to unfold differently in future chapters, but also shape yet-to-be-played chapters set in the past, in a way which explains the protagonist's motivations for his future actions that you already took in his name, while also setting the scene for possible future storylines that you influence even further as you progress through the game. This way, every possible path taken will form a believable story, and while there will be a total of 8 epic, world-changing endings, there will be a much larger number of possible paths leading to them, with subtle or dramatic variations of subplots, and different information being revealed during gameplay, making every new playthrough a distinct experience.
This week, it was announced that the upcoming Empires Apart, set to be released sometime this year, has found a publisher, Sliverine. Empires Apart is a real-time strategy game in development for Mac and Windows that draws inspiration from Age of Empires 2 and other classic RTS. It has a gorgeous aesthetic, and I'm looking forward to seeing it released. Sliverine has published other strategy games in the past, such as Warhammer 40k Armageddon and Panzer Corps. Earlier in the week, Evolve was removed for sale from Steam. It was later restored as a game called Evolve Stage 2, which is pretty much the same game, but it's gone free to play. Now, Evolve is a multiplayer FPS in which one player is a monster and the other 4 are hunters. Throughout the game, the monster gains strength and must stay alive in order to evolve and beat the hunters. Now, this game got mixed reception when it was first launched, and its player base shrank terribly. This small community was divided over matters of DLC. Essentially, there was a whole bunch of downloadable content that some people had and other people didn't, making it a mess to try and find a match. Going free to play may have saved Evolve, as there's now a fresh influx of players in the game. Evolve is currently available for Windows. The Xbox One and PlayStation 4 versions of the game will be going free to play. There's no word on when exactly that's happening, but this new free PC version of the game is a sort of beta, so when that's done being tested and is fully released, expect a release window for the Xbox One and PS4 versions of the free game. Personally, I think this was a smart move. While I am disappointed because it speaks to the state of the game industry right now, that is, it's very hard to launch a new multiplayer action IP for a nominal fee, there's a surprising amount of outrage at Blizzard, believe it or not, for not making Overwatch free to play. For Evolve, I think going free to play was the right decision. What do you think? Do multiplayer-only games need to be free in order to succeed? Should they? Hit us up at Blackman and Robin on Twitter and let us know. A trailer that caught our eye this week was for the upcoming Militant, set to be released next week on the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PlayStation Vita, and Steam. It's a platformer in which you play as an ant, going up against massive bosses. Armed with your pincers and flamethrowers, it's up to you to turn the tide of war and save your colony from an invasion of termites. Coming out later in the month is The Great Whale Road. Set to hit Steam Early Access on July 28th, it's a medieval strategy RPG that puts you in the boots of a North Sea Viking. In some ways, the game resembles the Banner Saga, which you must know by now that I'm a huge fan of. In other ways, however, The Great Whale Road is largely its own thing. For one, instead of a low fantasy setting, this game's aiming to be more historically focused. Still, its combat does resemble the Banner Saga, and the developers cite it as an influence, along with King of Dragon Pass and Duelists. Finally, we'll leave you with a first look at Japan in the upcoming Sid Meier's Civilization VI. Enjoy.
He was one of the most transformative leaders in Japanese history. Under his reign, Japan repelled the Mongol Empire's invasion, and Zen Buddhism spread through the samurai class. Japan's special ability is called Meiji Restoration. This ability lets the Japanese create powerful and compact cities by giving them bonuses for districts built next to each other. Hojo's forces take advantage of his Divine Wind ability. Land units get an advantage fighting next to the coast, and naval units get a combat bonus in shallow water tiles. Japan can build samurai in addition to other military units. These unique units don't lose combat strength when they take damage, making them hard-hitting until the end. Samurai unlock by discovering the military tactics technology. Japan also has the electronics factory. This replaces the regular factory in an industrial zone and provides bonus production as well as culture to nearby cities, not just its home city. In Civilization VI, Japan's power comes from building densely settled cities to benefit from adjacent districts. Their strong coastal defenses make them ideal for settling islands and terrain other civs might find confining for growth or difficult to defend. Samurai provide a powerful mid-game option for conquest, should you need to buy yourself further space for expansion. Follow the way of the warrior in Sid Meier's Civilization VI.
Well, that's it for this week's game news. For all the latest game news, reviews, previews, and interviews, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Blackman and Robin. Follow me at Jordan_Cameron for my own views.